action. I might get bored after seeing it for 2 weeks straight because, you know, being in Viper Venom Necro meta does hurt your brain a lot. So let's see. Like, Undying's also in this game, so we'll have to see. But yeah, changes to his Death Seeker is a good one, where he actually is maneuverable in a team fight, something that he really lacked. And also this matchup against Ember Spirit should be relatively easy for Necrophos. This has been done before, like picking this early Ember Spirit is relatively punishable by some of these heroes, like Monkey King, definitely something that South America does to play into. But Necro is also another one, but the hero hasn't seen a lot of loving from the Frog, so we'll see how this one's gonna go. And of course, Spirit Breaker, like, I think Entity's draft in general, what they drafted for themselves in the second game is rather difficult to execute. If they're not off to a good start with this Undying Shadow Demon, Spirit Breaker, they could be in trouble. But then again, Shadow Demon is the hero that can stack a lot, and we also seen carry Wind Rangers also fall short multiple times.
Yeah, it feels like Wind Rangers, it's, oh, Vanguard, Crimson Guard, and all of a sudden it's just like, all right, well, what do I do if I'm this Windrunner now? I don't do that much damage anymore. You're like relying on Maelstrom procs, and it feels like the mid game gets difficult for a lot of Windrunners if not properly executed.
There's a big difference between, like, when you have a BKB, you want to finish off that Gleipnir to have, like, it's a good Gleipnir game, don't get me wrong. You can deal with CK, his illusions, stop Magnus from skewering, great against Ember Spirit to keep him in spot. It's set up for your own Shackle as well. And let's see, this is the mid matchup that I want to see how Stormstormer is going to do. He pushed the wave in, Necro. In terms of damage, sitting at 56, 59 on Ember at the moment, but I'm sure Quinn has played with bad matchups in his pubs multiple times, and he knows what's coming.
Well, he's trying to secure the mid lane, and I'm wondering how many times we're going to see Reaper Scythe be effective and get those kills, and how many stacks of that permanent health and mana regen Stormstormer is going to get a hand on.
Yeah. The thing about this matchup is you don't possess a kill threat to kill Necro unless he disconnects from both Discord, from the game. No one notices that he's actually gone, and then you kill him underneath the tower or something. But
damn,
should not be an easy one. This is also bottom lane, like not the lane we usually see, and good surround coming out from these Shadow Demon illusions as well.
So we're taking a lot of damage,
wow,
and will actually
nicely
fall
done
to Kataomi. That is maybe a little bit of a surprise this early on, but the surround was there, the decay hits, and they get the credit for the kill. So already 1-0 here in favor of Entity, and that 75% is already looking good that we got told by Kezu with the arbitrary numbers.
Watson is struggling in the top lane a bit. Tofu putting in a lot of pressure. Tofu Techie so far has been amazing, and also securing the lane for Ace. But looking at CS from a mid lane, Quinn doing amazing. 13 CS, Necro sitting at 14.
Yeah, so keeping it pretty close overall. As top lane again, Fishman now skewered, and into the blast off. They get a bash onto Tofu, but it's still looking like he's dead, and he'll drop to Ace.
And these type of a start in the offlane could make a difference. But yeah, speaking of the offlane difference, the Ratio, whew, that was like 3-4 HP on him.
Yeah. Just a sliver of health. Skin of his teeth, as they would say. Which I never really understand that saying, but I still say it.
Thinking about it, I don't think I have anything funny to say. I don't get it as well. I'm just trying to think of something.
No, it's not supposed to be funny. It's just like one of those old 1930s.
I know, but I'm trying to think of something funny. Probably has something to it, otherwise people wouldn't say it. These people from like 70s, they were life smart, unlike us.
Yeah, I don't know what smarts I hold. Probably none. Watson getting hit with the sticky bomb, and you know, Techie's only level 2 for the moment. We'll see when he gets to level 3. It's most likely going to be that level 2 into the sticky bomb to continue that harassment. And going in with the blast off shockwave, but Watson, he's still pretty much the same amount of health as he had before. He's looking to go and grab himself some infused raindrops as well.
Really struggling in this lane. Mag 19 and 7. Tofu putting in a lot of pressure. I mean, it comes down to Spirit Breaker 5. Also, this hero needs levels. You can't just expect him to do great things in the laning stage. He can go in, soak up some of the damage. So it seems like both safe laners are struggling. Mid lane. Now, Stormstormer is making a difference on this mid lane. Getting more levels. Keeping Quinn away from those creeps, using Sleight of Fist, trying to CS as much as possible, but he's completely uncontested in terms of CS, as expected in this matchup.
Yeah, so we'll see how quickly he's able to get one of those Reaper Scythes out, and what they can do to maybe come over mid and control up Quinn and get that kill. We'll see if supports rotate as that time comes and shows itself.
One good thing that they do have is the spell coming from the Enchantress, and he's maxing out Enchant in this one, wants to lower the cooldown, something that Necro really hates to play into. Click on this link to see what else Necro hates to play into.
Dyrachyo is going to die here to Toby as they have just dove under the tower and made sure that they were able to kill that CK off. Bottom tier 1 taking some damage, but not exactly the best damage dealers for towers here down bottom.
Looking at Toby's items, how many branches do you want to have? The answer is yes. Yeah, pretty much. Arcane boots, straight up arcane boots. So something that Shadow Demon likes to play with is having some kind of mana sustain in the lane. So having these early arcane boots is going to help out a lot in terms of getting potentially another kill. And Toby, he's not pushed out of the lane by any means. Tofu, he's getting a kill here. Fishman definitely loves to go for these early trades.
Yeah, I mean, this is just Fishman getting out a little bit too far, and Stormstormer
You wanted to see it.
getting that kill on a Quinn. I mean, that is the Reaper Scythe doing its deed there and getting that first stack. Bottom lane disruption on Dyrachyo again. You said he was not really getting much out of the lane. He is only 16-1 at the moment.
Something that CK struggles with is if he's pushed out of the lane, this hero doesn't really flash farm jungle. I think he was pretty similar to what Marcy struggled, and why we don't see the hero being played as a safe lane carry anymore. Because if she's pushed out of the lane, you go to jungle, you don't have anything to deal with it. Sure, you have like a little bit of lifesteal, but that's about it. Dyrachyo tipping Stormstormer, who's on a mid lane. Not sure what this is about.
Toby low, Toby gone. Tombstone committed. Charge comes in. Can they stop them from killing this Tombstone quickly? Not really. 150 gold goes to Tofu. They'll go to the Sticky Bomb. Impetus shots coming in from Celery. The damage not quite there to get the kill on a Fishman as he gets into the trees. And he'll escape with his life, but they do end up losing that Undying. It could have been a, sometimes you ping up on the high area, accidentally tip somebody.
Yeah, accidentally.
Never on purpose.
Still, CK is level 4, but they needed this kind of rotation. Techies to come bottom, leave Magnus alone. Ace is about to finish off his Vanguard, so he's good to go, especially against Windranger. She can't really put a pressure, even if she is level 6. That Focus Fire doesn't really deal damage through Vanguard, so now they're focusing on this bottom lane. Radiant using a scan, maybe thinking about stealing the enemy Wisdom Rune. In the end, it's going to be Kataomi who picks it up.
Quinn actually bottles one up too, so Quinn back over towards mid. Bottom lane, though, there's a charge coming through for Dyrachyo, too, and they are kind of stacked the Shadow Poison, not getting enough, so they'll stop the charge before he gets under the tower. So it's become a tri-lane for both these teams. Disruption to avoid the Sticky Bomb. Toby has Tombstone in 4 more seconds. Maybe they look to make an aggressive play with that and the charge back off cooldown.
At least CK has Empower to play off with, to try to catch up. Not sure if they're gonna do it, because seeing Magnus being played as an offlaner, he kind of wants to play for himself, wants to be like that secondary carry, at least for until he gets Echo Saber, gets the Harpoon. He's very tanky, deals ton of damage, can't really go around the map and keep using Empower on Dyrachyo. So Ace might just say, screw it, I'll play for myself. Dyrachyo will catch up eventually.
And Stormstormer's 2 levels ahead of Quinn at the moment. Now he finally hits 7, but he's stacked for himself twice over here in the triangle.
Yeah, I love to do it as well.
Quinn?
Seeing a hero being level 6. Ooh.
Quinn?
Ooh.
Quinn?
Oh, no.
Just got bonked on the head by that Satyr Tormentor.
52 damage.
Gosh, charge coming through. Ace, again, doesn't really care about Watson's Focus Fire. And mid, now looking over at Celery. That is not a death you want to have.
Yeah, that camera reaction as well. It was funny as hell. You know, something you don't expect to happen 8-9 minutes into the game, dying to neutrals, unless you want to do it on your own.
Just getting bonked there, and I mean, that's going to allow Stormstormer to really pull far ahead. He is 2,000 net worth ahead of Quinn.
Oof. It's a rough one. Tofu.
Blast off.
Landing a blast off. There's still stun available. Let's see if he can juke them with an illusion. They're not falling for
Only
it.
1 second stun. They brought Stormstormer down here. They're going to have a charge on Tofu, but Stormstormer's kind of far away from laying down a Reaper Scythe at the moment. So they're going to have to get close enough and get there, but he also need to watch out of here. Kataomi is this enchanted Satyr Tormentor is throwing shockwaves and hitting this Shadow Demon, and eventually Quinn comes in with a Sleight of Fist to get the kill.
That's the problem with Necro as a hero. Something about the hero being so sluggish, unable to move. Like, you need to TP rotate, but at least now he can choose his neutral item, finds Faded Brooch, which does give him extra 20 movement speed, so at least that's something. I always feel like Necro, doesn't matter what, needs a Windlace in his inventory. Let's see if he's bringing it. No, for now, he's going for Kaya Sanj, making him super tanky, having that heal amplification as well. Stormstormer is not killable, but Gaimin Gladiators, they are playing, like, staying away from Necro. Another charge.
Again. Charge and the ult used here by the Undying, as the damage onto this Enchantress is enough. Nature's Attendant's not going to keep him alive, and Horatio goes the other way. They've also got Ace nearby, but Watson comes down towards bottom, skewer towards the Twin Gate, and Quinn's going to be in a +1 here as well. Remnant forward, charge comes in, that hits Quinn. Quinn's Shackle Shot not going to connect. Toby sitting with not a lot of health, only 450 at the moment, but Quinn, between three of these heroes, he's got Ace for some help. Roche, meanwhile, killing off Kataomi. Toby now going to die here to Quinn. They go to the RP, that's going to land on a 2. Only level 4 here for Fishman. He falls to Quinn, double kill there, and now Watson needs to try and leave, but Skewer, the right clicks, the Sleight of Fist, the kill, the triple for Quinn.
It's exactly the fight that they needed. Like, sure, Watson joins, they get a kill on Horatio, but Quinn needed this kind of a money boost to come back into the game. And these were also kills with Magnus being close, which means that he does have Empower, so providing him some extra damage, gave him Empower before he ran away, and Quinn's back into the game. Like, even though he's still far behind Necro, he still feels very good after getting that triple kill.
Now it's all about trying to get yourself Horatio back into the game because his farm is suffering quite a bit. That being said, he's not terribly far behind Watson, who, with the Vanguard now on Ace, it just, I don't know, Watson's not outputting that much damage.
Does have Maelstrom now, so he can go onto Vanguard target as well. The Maelstrom procs are magical, so should do the trick.
Tofu?
Fishman.
Blast off charge. Oh. Bopping him while he's up
done.
in the air. They go to the Reaper Scythe, and that will slam down on Tofu and give another stack over to Stormstorm.
Both supports on Entity are still not level 6. Fishman just got that level 5, and Kataomi will get level 6 right now.
They're both missing the days of tomes.
Pretty much. Horatio. We can see Ace moving through the triangle and giving Empower to Horatio to try to get back into the game, getting those stacks as we speak.
No, I did just see Quinn die here a moment ago. Horatio, but not to make the same mistake. Still has 300 health. Charge over. And that'll hit Celery, who's going to go into the Nature's Attendants, but they've slowed up Quinn, who doesn't really have a lot of mana to work with. 2 charges on that one, now 3, but it's on cooldown for 5 more seconds. They go to the Disruption. Do they have the lockdown? They do. With a bash coming out from Fishman, it's certainly there, and they'll take a 4-time spree away from Quinn.
Whew, that bash making a difference there. In terms of tower damage, they don't really have much, but Necro will be the one soaking up the damage, getting that extra regeneration.
Shackle Shot connects.
There's the Maelstrom.
And they've got the Maelstrom, so the damage is going to be enough. Skewer onto the low ground, away from the Windrunner. Now a 2-second stun from Horatio. Fishman dead in just a moment, as the turnaround is there for Entity, or for Gaimin Gladiators.
They needed him to be level 6 there on Spirit Breaker, to have a little bit more control, so those right clicks from Wind Ranger could kick in. Very interesting build from Watson this time around. No boots of speed, so going straight into Maelstrom. This is, I think this is pretty similar to Klinks when he was played as a safe laner. You wanted to get to Maelstrom as soon as possible to be able to clear the Ancients. So, not going for anything. Usually you would want to buy Power Treads since you're Universal Hero and that's where you're getting the damage from. But Watson understands that in this type of a game, he was off to a really bad start, needs to catch up. And Power Tread's not going to be that item. Instead, goes for Maelstrom, which I think is the correct choice.
Haste for Stormstormer. Quinn getting charged now. He's going to Remnant all the way towards Ace. Although with the haste, Stormstormer's still running that way. See who they end up going for. This charge should be stopped in the river and will be. The recovery is there for Gaimin Gladiators. All three of their cores now just sitting behind Stormstormer, who's had an amazing start. But the other cores on Entity are struggling.
Toby, this is not your old Undying. He can farm with the decay, so that's good. And I like the item that he picked up, Pavis. You are playing into 3 cores that deal heavy right-click damage, so you will get the value from the item. Feels really nice to have, even though usually supports are buying the item. Gives him enough mana regen, gives him a little bit of armor. Got a perfect item for this game.
Watson now has vision on Ace thanks to the charge. He had it from the high ground, and they're going to come all the way around. The Shackle connects. The charge will eventually hit. They do now have that level 6. If another strike comes through, the Reaper Scythe is there. They'll get themselves another stack on Stormstormer. And he has now got 3 Reaper Scythe stacks.
That's quite a lot. 6 HP regen and 3 mana regen. They got a stun off.
Stormstormer.
He's a tanky boy.
Explode. They'll get the kill on a Fishman. Now they're going to look over as they'll end up losing Tofu, but the remnant forward from Quinn. They've got Celery here. Stormstormer tanky, but not tanky enough. That's a 4-time spree for Quinn going after Watson. Atomi's here. Not any mana on Quinn. Do they have the damage to really do anything? Celery's here with the Nature's Attendants, albeit level 1. Enough to deter Entity.
Very close game overall. There are dispel mechanics on both of these teams, so some of these newer items like Pavis is gonna get removed. You'll have Empower as well if you use it. If you get Demonic Purge on one of those targets. Watson. Ooh, that was close. Fishman was providing some vision with the charge.
Fishman's got himself a spark of courage. With that at the moment. Anybody else have spark? No.
They were not blessed. I think pretty much every single core on the side of Gaimin Gladiators would take it.
Yeah, truthfully, it would feel pretty great for all 3 of their cores, definitely. Mine explodes. They're dealing with this Harpy Stormcrafter. Celery being annoying with that, as Shadow Poison, it's starting to be thrown up by Kataomi. They do have all these heroes here for Entity, but not too willing to fight just yet.
Stormstormer has that Seeker available, so can dodge some of these spells and also be a bit more maneuverable during the team fight. Lock onto a target, set things up for a Reaper Sight. In terms of like gank potential, they have Spirit Breaker charge, but that's about it, and it's only level 1 charge. So let's see. Stormstormer, he can't really start a fight, maybe with the Shackle, which is maxed out now. They could try to land a kill, go for Ace one more time. They did manage to kill him only once. Ace has been very active on his Magnus, and now Toby.
Toby, yeah, charge coming in. Can they save the life of this Undying? And they will for a moment. As Duraccio, he's going to back off, but get hit by that Nether Strike. Now they go and pull it. Toby, they get the kill onto the Undying, trying to TP out. They've got the Reaper Scythe, and that will get the kill on Duraccio. That's a trade well worth. But can they find anything more? I know they were pinging Roche just a second ago.
Gonna take a while, unless Vindranger just pops the ulti on Roshan, which is gotta be their damage. Speaking of damage, there is double damage that just spawned top. Let's see who decides to pick it up.
But yeah, coming around, and Celery, he is just farming up.
He's in the outer ring of outer ring. Pretty much, he's out of the game. This is where like Phoenix likes to be when he uses Sunray and gets out of the game. Toby playing this sacrificial position 3 pretty much. Going in, dying, but getting things set up for his own team. Now Crimson Guard is available. Big pickup. You play against CK, his illusions, right clicks from Magnus, Ember Spirit as well, even though he's both magical and physical. It's still gonna provide him with a lot of protection.
See if the protection comes with value, as they're kind of grouped up towards the top end of the map. They've got Stormstormer sitting mid. He's going for a Shivas, then a Heart next. Trying to stay as survivable as possible. Get some armor, get some regen.
There's the Death Seeker in action.
God. Death Seeker, no Reaper Scythe for 25 seconds. These mines starting to do some damage. The Harpoon showed off by Ace. We go to the Nether Strike. Fishman trying to kill himself to neutrals, unable to do so. Sticky Bomb, blast off. Proximity Mine, the damage on a Toby. Oh, wow, they have lost 2 now. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, Death Seeker on cooldown for another 12
with
seconds.
power. Here we go.
Trying to do everything it can, but now when it splits, it's got 2 stuns. They have the Harpoon, they'll skewer him back. Trying to use that Ghost Shroud to survive, but a 2-second stun. They've got the Disruption save, but behind them is the RP, and that's going to be Kataomi dying. They look over at Watson, but he's surviving. Quinn's taking a lot of damage. Reaper Scythe off cooldown. They get the kill on a Quinn. Now they're going to look towards the rest. Power Shot doesn't land, but these heroes on the side of Entity now feeling a lot more safe now that Quinn's out of the fight.
I think Fishman throughout his whole career is not afraid to use these early buybacks, and he also understands that if he's dead, they can't really lock down these heroes. If there's no shackle, Watson was really on low HP, so it doesn't feel too comfortable getting close to a fight. But overall, nice fight from Gaimin Gladiators. We see Celery popping off. He's getting the items, has Glimmer Cape, has drums, and is dishing out some serious amount of damage with Impetus.
So it's another Reaper Scythe stack, and I'm trying to...
You're all about those stacks, aren't you?
I am a part of those stacks, but I feel like I'm not feeling it, you know? Like, 5 stacks, but is it really doing much?
It's a lot of healing. It's 14
14
right now.
Which is a good amount, yeah.
And this is level 2 Reaper Scythe we're talking about, so will be even more once he gets that level 3 ulti.
Go for the Tormentor. Stormer, in up top. No Tormentor taken yet on either side. What's Quinn going for next? Taking a look. It's going for BKB. You've got Magnus going for BKB, so those timings are going to kind of line up a little bit. And Duracho going for the Nullifier, an item that you think is just one of the best items in the patch right now, right?
Pretty much. Having another layer of the spell against this Crimson Guard, Pavis, Solar Crest, you name it. And most importantly, Necro's Ghost Shroud. So they can lock onto him and kill him. There is probably going to need to be Kataomi coming in with some disruption during that Nullifier to try to turn the fight around. But then again, there is Magnus who can set things up off of that disruption, defensive one. With Harpoon Skewer back, we've seen Ace already landing a couple of those good skewers in the previous fight.
Being annoying with it, as he used it a couple times in that fight over mid, and it was really starting to work, especially getting Fishman off by himself. Fishman who now has that Solar Crest, so he'll be giving a little bit of a boost to these heroes. Things kind of quieting down for the moment, as these heroes farm their BKBs on Gaimin Gladiators in the side of Entity. We've got Watson looking for a Dragonlance. He's got that Gleipnir in his hands. Toby, you said he's got the Crimson Guard of the Pavis now. Will that be enough to stay alive, and a Cloak for some extra magic resistance?
There's also Glimmer Cape, Disruption potentially to save him out. I feel like Entity wasn't there in fights with all 5 heroes. And speaking of all 5 heroes, seems like they want to smoke behind Stormstormer, who's pinging out the hero that he's most afraid of right now, Enchantress, with that enchant. They could be going for Roche. Watson does have a lot of damage with Focus Fire, and that's exactly what they're doing.
I don't know if they can get here in time for the side of Gaimin Gladiators unless they all commit to TPing to the outpost. They're not going to.
Again, same as game 1. Entity, they take relatively early Roche. even though this is like 23 minutes into the game. Still didn't take a fight, and it's gonna be Watson who holds it.
Instead of that 16-minute mark, Roche, it's 23 minutes. Now the BKB for Ace. Let's see where Entity go from here. Now having that Aegis, but they're down 7,000 net worth, and you can see the splits between Stormer and the rest of his team. You need more golds coming in for Watson, and you were talking about Toby playing the sacrificial offlaner, as he is just trying to go into a lot of aura utility items.
As he should. I would say in this game, it's all about Necro surviving long enough, resetting multiple times. And what Gaimin Gladiators want to do, they want to take him out as soon as possible, because if he gets multiple Death Pulses, Soul Rips, Tombstone is there. Again, save from Shadow Demon, these Glimmer Capes. So I want to see if Dyrachyo commits with his Nullifier, and seems like he's committing. He feels that 2 BKBs is going to be enough. 1 on Magnus, 1 on Ember Spirit. So in terms of frontlining and creating chaos, setting things up for RP should be good enough. While his job is gonna be to get this Nullifier on Necro and try to kill it.
They're wrapping around, but they're not gonna find Quinn, who already TP'd out. He does have a Remnant nearby, so we'll see if they wanna maybe stake that out. Arjon to Ace, and Stormer, he's a bit far back on this fight. They go to the Nether Strike, but as he starts to put up his heals, they go and pop the BKB on Ace. RP to follow it up. Toby, he's going to die, but they should be able to at least get the trade on Ace. The Shackle connects on Dyrachyo. They've got the Glimmer Cape. The Blast Off lands on it too. They'll take out Fishman. Stormer, Death Seeking, and Gleipnir down. Dyrachyo low. He'll end up dead. Kataoma is going to fall on the Shadow Demon. With the BKB from Quinn, he's starting to run away. They've only got 2 alive on Entity, but they do get Dyrachyo as well as Ace.
They didn't have any vision for this Glimmer CK. In the end, he dies, but we see the power of CK, who jumps in, and I think that was a very nice move there from Ace. Gets Harpoon, skewers back Undying immediately. So in the end, it's a 3-for-2 trade, and most importantly, like I would say, Quinn doesn't die. He's getting levels. He's recovering nicely in this game. Still far behind Stormer, but he doesn't mind too much. Now, tanking things up, understands that he also needs to build into more magical damage and make himself more tanky, going into Kaya Sanj.
Kaya Sanj. I like that item. You see it here, Kaya Sanj on Necro.
Kind of
both
sad.
Mids will eventually.
Yeah, we don't see this often. Too
Mids will eventually have it, though.
Watson's still thinking what his next item needs to be. Again, against that Nullifier,
yeah,
he's building into Lincoln Sphere. Doesn't want to get dispelled as well from the Enchantress, so... Had BKB queued up for a very long time, but changes it every single time. Still holding on to Aegis. Rest of Gaimin Gladiators, they will go for a Shard, so Techies picks it up. Good Shard overall. This was his older Aghanim Scepter, which was kind of meh.
You like his current Aghanim Scepter?
It's okay. I don't know if you want to buy. There are better items to buy in terms of spending 4,000 gold. If you like need more control, you go for Hex if you want to lower the cooldown. And that blast off cooldown talent as well. 20 minutes into the game with Octarine Core, you can get like 3 blast offs in a fight, which could be game winning. It's a good. I think it's a fun one, but definitely not an S tier shard.
I haven't taken the Tormentor on the side of Entity yet, so it is a little bit interesting to see that is the game plan. At least not taking it so far. Picked up that Reaver on Stormer, Sleight of Fist coming through from Quinn, and Stormer will clear up those creeps while the rest of his team is up towards the top lane by that tier 1 they just took on the Radiant side.
Network lead keeps increasing for Gaimin Gladiators. They are farming. They understand that they can't really show on the lane, so most of the time they are farming these outer rings. So can't be charged by Spirit Breaker Fishman. That's the ulti off.
Strike. There's the Harpoon as well as the Skewer back away from the rest of the team. So Entity, I don't really think that they can continue to go in for these heroes, but Yule's up into the air, Sticky Bomb.
If they find an opening, Fishman will buy back immediately.
Shackle connects onto Dyrachyo. You called it. They've got the Shackle, they get the Reaper Sight, they get the kill on Dyrachyo. Now they're going to look towards the rest of the team. Fishman's charging in on a Quinn, but they go to the RP.
No follow-up.
Follow-up damage. They've got no Dyrachyo, and Quinn was remnanting away from the fight.
They need a
Charge
shackle.
connects. Remnant's
They get
not
it.
far, but they've got the shackle. It'll connect. Quinn now still trying to leave this fight, but won't be able to do so. At least by his own terms. They'll put him in a body bag and send him to respawn for another minute.
Yeah, some good disruptions to keep people alive. Like, RP was nice from Ace, but no real follow-up. Rest of the team was already going back. Without the Ratio, this nullifier, I love that Entity is just focusing him down heavily. Ace, the Link Dagger is available. Can they catch him? Ooh, a little bit of a bonk, but can't really catch him. Watson was thinking about it. Maybe a Gleipnir, and finds Enchanted Quiver for himself. That's going to be a lot of damage, a lot of magical procs coming out from him.
So taking the bottom tier 3, or at least attempting to do so. They'll glyph up here as they've got 13 seconds without the CK. It's at about half health. Sticky Bomb thrown out. Now Ace coming in with the skewer. They've got the charge coming out from Fishman. They go to the blast off. There's the Death Seeker, the disruption to make sure that they're keeping the Watson Wind Ranger safe. But Toby taking a lot of damage as Ace with the BKB can't do enough. Shackle connects. It's always the one in the back. But they aren't going into the base. They've got Duraccio back with the nullifier. A 3-second stun on into Stormstormer. Death Seeker. Oh! Stormstormer going to be able to survive for a second, but they've got the Harpoon. Stormstormer will finally die to Duraccio. Shackle doesn't do enough. Fishman trying to leave and doesn't get hit with the Searing Chains. He's charging slow, but he's charging well enough to get out.
A little bit of miscommunication there, it seems. And oh, wow, Ace actually catches Fishman. TPs. Uses Skewer. Let's see if he can Harpoon. Another Skewer is available, plus a Blink Dagger.
Charge.
Fishman's out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no! Out towards Duraccio.
Because Katomi was the one who TP'd out first, and they managed to find an opening on Necro. Shadow Demon, no Blink Dagger available on him.
Oh, trying to fool him with the illusions, but they figured out his tricks.
Gaimin Gladiators, they heavily punish Entity for falling back like that. You need to retreat as a team, and now you're in a lot of trouble. Fishman bought back in the previous fight, so he's gonna be dead for a very long time. In terms of tower damage, there is bunch. Empower DD as well on Ember Spirit. Here comes Mag as well.
So mid tier 3 will drop. It's the first high ground tower to be taken out. No glyph again. They've got Stormstormer back up, but they are lacking their supports. So backdoor protection stalls the push for 2 seconds.
Yeah, what backdoor protection? Was gone immediately, and they take what they came for. Got that set of barracks. Seems like they're in a rush. I feel like Entity, they need to take another fight. Is there smoke available? I see none available on SD. There is one on Spirit Breaker, and they're kind of forced into a fight right now, I would say, because if the longer the wait, they're gonna get out-farmed. 2 cores farming with Empower.
Faking the full retreat. Well, not really faking the retreat. They went back to farm, and now they're just going to smoke in and potentially fight again. See what Entity want to do is they've got this heart for the Necro of Stormstormer now. Just need to find an opening.
They need to save the target. Whoever gets jumped by this nullifier, which is most likely going to be Necrophos, needs to get disrupted. Entity's lineup is very good in these drone-out fights, but looking at Gaimin's Gladiator damage, they want to lock in onto a target with the BKBs, take them out. CK pops Phantasm. Ember Spirit commits with a couple of Remnants, and then they get a kill. Tormentor is available.
And they haven't taken it yet. But Roche available in 45. Are close. And they catch Duraccio. On to Duraccio. He'll blink further back towards his team. There's the Yules as well as the Nullifier used pretty early. But
slow cooldown. Gotta be back online in 5.
Fishman's got the Lotus Orb. The Harpoon now trying to skewer away, but won't grab Fishman and bring him back. Tombstone also committed to this, so Toby's not going to have that for another minute. That's tough. Roshan, 10 seconds.
Duraccio cutting him out with those illusions. Stormstormer wants the bait. Like, he wants to be able to get the jump, maybe get some BKB usages out of it. Now they're prepping for Roshan, potentially setting up things with Observer Ward, but Tofu knows exactly where they are.
Remnant all the way to the Twin Gate, and they'll take out that Observer Ward, so the Vision's now gone. Sticky Bomb once again. There's the Harpoon as well as the Skewer back. Toby trying to survive. The Nullifier's on him. Quinn comes over. They go to the Reaper site. They get the kill on Ace immediately. That means no RP. He doesn't even have buyback to get back into the fight by the Outpost. Damage on a Fishman to take out one. Now they look over Toby again. They've got the Nullifier once more with the Searing Chains. Watson's going to fall behind him. They don't have buyback on any of these heroes on the side of Entity. As Stormstormer trying to do all he can, but the focus is on Nakatomi as well. Right clicks, Tofu not dying, Nullifier, Impetus, the Remnant over, Quinn moving quickly, he's got that Ags, and they have the pullback in, the kill there, the ultra kill for Quinn and a full team wipe for the side of Gaimin Gladiators, despite the fact that they lost Ace to start that fight.
Lack of control on side of Entity. There aren't really spells that they're afraid of, so coming into a fight, knowing that you're going to be able to get your BKB off, set things up for a potential RP. Didn't happen this time around, but CK with his illusions, and I was watching Kataomi carefully. Like, he was waiting very long time to get that disruption off in the end. Doesn't even go for the save. I think he went for CK instead. You can see Quinn. He's going ham, pops that BKB during the whole duration. He doesn't care too much about anything.
And he's got that Ags. He's moving around the map with these remnants.
Yeah. And also Taser, the shard upgrade from Techies. It's such an insane one.
When it's used correctly, it feels very strong, but there are a lot of times where the shard can feel kind of meh.
Yeah, that disarm duration is too good.
By the way, now sitting top.
Cheese plus Aegis this time around. I don't think Gaimin Gladiators will forget Cheese in Roche Pit. And also, Entity, they want to defend.
Vision placed over Roche.
Radiant are scanning.
Still alive and still by the pit. The scan connects.
Trying to scout things out with illusions. Maybe get the bait going. This is type of a play you need to go for. Because taking out Shadow Demon first could be a big one. And you can see that they caught a glimpse of him.
They see the vision on the high ground again. They go to the charge. They'll Death Seeker onto Celery. He's going to use that Glimmer Cape to stun into Toby. Toby taking a lot of damage. He's already down below half health, but he's surviving for now with the disruption on him. It's only extending the inevitable from what it seems to get the kill there on a Toby. They go to the Reaper site. That's going to be on the Ace, but they get the kill afterwards. Katomi falls. The buybacks come out. Plenty from Entity. They've got 3 of them already used with the Lincolns being popped on Stormstormer. Side of Fist from Quinn. Quinn sitting towards the back end of this with no Ace, no RP. Can they still take this fight?
3 buybacks from Entity. They need to get this, Roche. The bottom barracks actually dropped. This is 35 minutes. Creep wave, 2 siege creeps, plus also Celery with his skeleton bros. Look at him go.
Doing everything to take out that whole set of racks. So a lot committed here by the side of Entity. Just to try and get this Roche. And I say try because they are still stationed here on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. This is not
towers are going to start dropping
secured
now.
Yeah, now the push is coming in. How much are they willing to lose on this one? They need to either commit to Roche or commit to something. They are in and out of the pit. The sticky bomb thrown out once again, and it doesn't get Roche, but it is thrown out. So Watson forced to go back. Look at the charge. Look at the fact that they've almost lost both their tier 4s. While that's going on, Toby's going to be caught. He's dead. He bought back a moment ago, so he's gone for 75 seconds.
Gaimin Gladiators, they're going to go for the high ground. Even they are the ones holding the Aegis on Entity. These 2 sides, man. Celery did one hell of a job setting that creep to be able to push it in. And with the catapults, securing another set of barracks for themselves.
And they hold on. I mean, they have 1 tier 4. Charge on a Tofu. Duraccio behind him. Another strike. And that's another Reaper sight. That's a kill. Ooh, they found themselves Duraccio. Do they have the damage to get him before he TP's out? No.
BKB TP out still. Very powerful.
Very strong.
No bash coming out from Spirit Breaker. Found Celery. with that gem. Who found who? Let's see the damage from that impetus.
Oh. Oh.
Rainbow's coming.
Oh. Double rainbow all the way.
Is under attack.
Death Seeker. You know, these creeps try to save at least the tier 4 for now.
You're in a lot of trouble now. You don't have buybacks on 3 heroes on side of Entity for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, you have an Aegis, but I don't know how much that's going to be worth if those other 3 heroes die, right?
Yep. There's also Tormentor available for Gaimin Gladiators to take.
It's 30,000 net worth lead. Entity have never really recovered their other cores. And now Stormstormer not even at the top anymore.
He did struggle in a couple of these fights. As soon as Nullifier came online, you could see the shift, how the fights are gonna go. Because there's only limited of things you can throw to save him. It's Disruption, rest of the things are dispellable. Solar Crest, Glimmer Cape, Pavis, you name it.
Trying to survive and these 8 stacks of the Reaper Scythe, giving 32 HP regen, which is pretty solid. Plus the heart, like,
We also
he's survivable. He just needs to output damage, right?
Yeah, talk about his item choices in terms of neutral items. Holding on to Gossamer Cape, which is insanely good item. The item has been, like, in these situations on certain heroes, it feels super strong. You play into 3 cores that do rely on dealing heavy right-click, providing you with the move speed, exactly what Necro needs. So he didn't find a better neutral item for himself, even though we're 40 minutes into the game, so tier 4s are available.
Octarine core picked up now by Ace. He's had a bunch of great moments in this game. That Harpoon immediately doing work. They're going to go. Get Tofu again, and Quinn forced to Remnant away. Goes back towards Ace, so you were hoping maybe if they chase, they go, jump in, RP, and clean them up.
Gaimin Gladiators will... Yeah, they will still have, like, good 2 minutes. Let me just check that. Yeah, 2 minutes for the buybacks to come off cooldown on Entity, and Aegis is going to expire, so... Could take a fight, knowing that if they kill any of these 3 heroes, that's Shadow Demon, Spirit Breaker, or Undying, the fight's gonna be 4 versus 5. They are not coming back.
Enchantress, again, just throwing these creeps towards the top lane to try and push it in, especially with the double catapult wave, and this time Entity responds.
Celery also going ham with the build. I love it. Moonshard, pop, Boots of Bearing. Holding on to Enchanted Quiver.
Charge.
Let's see how fast he dies.
The Searing Chains, but the RP, the turnaround, the Remnant forward. They should be able to get that kill on a Watson. They'll take the Aegis. Fishman trying to survive, but that's not going to happen. Dead for 90 seconds. He's the one you talked about, not having buyback. Now they're going to have Stormstormer over to the side, but they go to the Refresher. Ooh, they've got the Disruption. Now the Gleipnir, Stormstormer, Death Seeking, looking for Doraccio, trying to do the demonstration.
Can't get in range for that Reaper sight.
Now TPing on top of Toby. Stormstormer comes back, and they aren't able to kill off anybody on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. And Entity losing Fishman. Shield Rune picked up here by Stormstormer. That's an extra 1,600 life.
You can see that Necro is super tanky with all that extra regen, Heart of Tarask, 8 Reaper Sight stacks, but he's still struggling to lock onto a target. Rest of the team unable to provide him with any kind of lockdown. He was so ready to use Reaper Sight on Doraccio, and now they know. Minute and 40 seconds. Buybacks are on cooldown. 30 seconds without Spirit Breaker. They know it's 4 versus 5 that they engage right now.
Yeah, no longer having that Aegis, no longer comfortable in having that Aegis. Watson looks like he might be the target if he stays too far forward again. So, overwhelming blink away. Spell Prism picked up here for Obi, by the way.
Let's lower the cooldown on Decay. I could see them like maybe coming back into this game if they manage to get to their level 25s. Like Necro at level 25 is massive. The big one is Wind Ranger, having that focus fire cooldown by 20 seconds reduced. You know, it's a lot of copium, don't get me wrong, because Dota Plus is just showing us it's 98 against 2% on side of Entity.
My favorite kind of milk. 2%.
2%, yeah. But I love that Ace in the previous fight was not hesitating at all to pop that RP, save Celery, who's entered the carry mode for the last couple of minutes.
Got that Bobica build. He said, want to try and get these level 25s. Do so. Uh-oh. They have caught themselves Toby. He's not going to get level 25 by being dead. He's also only level 17.
He doesn't have buyback, needs 160 gold for it. There are no bounty runes to be picked up, so 40 seconds without Toby, no undying. They're gonna start knocking on your last set of barracks.
This gets used. A Seeker in, RP committed on a Watson over in the mid lane, and they're gonna skewer him back. He goes to the BKB. They've got the buyback coming up from Fishman, but there's the refresher from Quinn. Remnant away, damage from the Enchantress. Celery. Why not just get closer? Make sure he's not able to output as much damage as you want him to. That was a Death Seeker away from the rest of the team. They go to the Harpoon and they're just skewer him back and get the kill. They took him out. Fishman follows him to the grave.
Oh, this has to be game. Like this Death Seeker, sure, he does have buyback available, but as soon as he used it, Ace finds an opportunity, skewers him back further away from the team, knows that there's not going to be disruption available. Quinn recharging his HP and mana, coming back into a fight. He hit that level 25 long time ago, 2 Sleight of Fist charges, and Dyrachyo just got his.
They're gonna pop that Lincolns. They'll go for Watson. Toby's in, goes to the Flesh Golem, and there is the Hurricane Pike, the Reaper Scythe coming through, not killing Dyrachyo, so that's on cooldown. There's not really much more for them to output, because they've got the Disruption. They'll get the kill on Dyrachyo. They've got buyback available on this CK. They do have a 40,000 net worth lead that they can work with. And there's the Harpoon into the skewer, the buyback from Toby, trying to Death Seeker away, trying to find an escape as they run away from these heroes on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. They've got the root, they have the Nullifier, there's the Disruption, right clicks from Celery, he's out of mana. Quinn, now Remnant away, and they're still holding on, but while all that's going on, your base is almost falling to these creeps. They're starting to chip away at the throne.
Next Roshan's going to be available in 15 seconds. Gaimin Gladiators, they should go for it. Dyrachyo boat back. No need to risk anything, so give him the Aegis. Throne is exposed. There are no tier 3 towers available as well, because the last one has just fallen. And you see like the desperation that they need like to play around Necro every single time he's in trouble. Stormstormer's doing what he needs to do. Go in, soak up some damage, use that Death Seeker Shiva's Guard. Try to keep them on low HP, and then disruption needs to come. But Roshan's dropping very quickly.
Thing is, too, like, Quinn doesn't have to commit too much to do so much damage in these fights. He's throwing out the remnants, like, staying at a distance where he knows he's going to be safe. And still outputting so much damage. I think after he died to that neutral creep, it was the Cool Calm and Collected switch turning on, and he just it's popped off since that moment.
Great comeback from him. Let's see, now holding the Aegis, refresher as well on CK. So they want to go in, get this last set of barracks, take a fight. Buyback still on cooldown for Entity. No Toby, no Fishman. He's gone.
God, Quinn again beyond godlike. I'm telling you, that neutral flipped a switch in his head. There's been no way turning back. They're gonna pull back in Stormer. They've got the damage onto the CK. They'll take the first life out of his hands. Sticky Bomb, Remnants, Quinn moving in with the BKB, Searing Chains. Now they've got the RP. And they do the damage, though. Toby surviving, and now Remnant back towards Kataomi. They get the kill on Toby. He doesn't have buyback. They'll find themselves Stormstorm with the right click damage coming up from Celery, as well as Dyrachyo. He's got no buyback. Down goes Kataomi, and they'll look over at Watson. They'll finish off the full team wipe and get the victory as GG is called. 48 minutes into the game, 48,000 net worth. Gaimin Gladiators are pushing us to a game 3.
Stormstormer dominate.